Hey you! Do you like purchasing? Do you like consuming? Do you like being under the oppressive weight of the capitalist system? Well boy, do we have a product for you! Memories! All of your favorite life moments coming right back to you. The time you learned to ride a bike, your favorite childhood meal, even the time you met that special someone. For only a $70 install fee and a $9.99 a month subscription, you can relive the best and worst times of your life. Some restrictions and pop-up ads may apply. Nostalgia is one of the most prevalent emotions in our society. From Pepsi rebrands to Taylor Swift re-recordings, everywhere you look seems inspired by or directly profiting off of this emotion. Video games are no exception. This is nothing new. Video games have been calling back on their past since they've existed. From ports of older games to classics compilations to remakes to older games even being playable in other newer games. As a medium, video games often look through rose-colored glasses at their past, but rarely has it felt so exploitative and cheap. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's whole appeal is pretty much just nostalgia. Look, it's the maps from 2009's Modern Warfare 2. It's Terminal, it's Rust, and you can play it on your PS5 in sweet 4K. Except, updating the graphics seemed to be the only quality change they've made. Somehow with 2 console generations to do it, they still can't fix the spawns. The maps are the main selling point of the game, and yet they are making the same mistakes they did back in 2009. Reminder, this is a full-priced game with no new maps at launch. Don't yell at me, I know they just announced 4 new ones, the point stays the same. You can't even keep last year's game on your hard drive without Modern Warfare 3 attempting to auto-download, even if you haven't bought the game yourself. Is Activision trying to trick me into thinking I've bought the new Call of Duty? What is going on here? Call of Duty's Modern Warfare games have been coasting off its own nostalgia for a little bit now, with constant callbacks to characters we know like Soap, Price, and Ghost, even if those characters are vastly different in the reboot. At least the first reboot game had a decent campaign and felt like it was trying to do something different. Last year's game was okay, but Ghost is such a non-character in both the newer and older games, it felt silly to market the whole game around him. And this year's game decided to make players run around a Warzone map and just turn that into the campaign. But you get to play Favela again, so pay up. This led to the worst reviewed Call of Duty in a long time, and it deserves it. Overwatch 2 went free to play, and it tried to play up the memories people had when the first game became a smash hit. That facade faded almost immediately, though, when the quote-unquote sequel was just a worse version of the first game with very little new. And while not a typical game, Silent Hill Ascension tried to invoke Silent Hill 2, and then delivered an experience so bad that the 0.4 user score on Metacritic seems to be from actual humans instead of internet trolls review bombing it. Most popularly, Fortnite just ended its OG season with a return to the old maps and the old loot pool from 2018 and 2019. The launch of this season was quite literally the most popular day in the game's history. Going back to the Fortnite of old appealed to so many, and I was not immune. At first, it rocked. It was cool to see old locations again. Going back and playing with old weapons and power-ups was especially fun. I hope the bush stays forever. I even threw myself back into the old tactics I used to use. So we keep waiting on the world to change. It was without a doubt a blast. For a game or two. Was this just a cash grab to suck me back into the cycle of battle passes and V-Bucks? Did Fortnite actually want to celebrate these old memories with us, or just increase their player count in an easier way? Having the older loot pool and the older map also drastically pointed out the ways that Fortnite has changed. Booting up the game now means dealing with one of the worst UIs I have ever seen in a video game. It's difficult to find the actual Battle Royale modes, and way too easy to find weird tycoon levels and junk that looks slightly better than whatever your 8-year-old cousin is playing on Roblox.
Everybody, look it! This is on Roblox!
What? Who made that?
If you hadn't been playing Fortnite consistently, the game would be hard to recognize on the outside. Epic's insistence on turning Fortnite into the hub of the metaverse has taken a lot of the magic out of the actual game it was built upon. The focus isn't on cool stuff to evolve the main game, It's just how to get as many people into the game as possible, regardless of the quality control. Combined with the recent V-Bucks price increase, the picture becomes clear. It does not feel true that Fortnite just wanted to celebrate the old days with you. Going back to an older map is just much easier than coming up with something new or interesting, and the game can still charge the same, or more, without barely spending a dime. It's gonna be a yearly thing, and for some people that's okay, but it sets a very bad and dangerous precedent. I don't want companies to just sell me old things for the same price. And if Call of Duty and Fortnite continue to be sales successes, what's the motivation for them to ever try hard on making new maps and modes ever again? And while that temporary hit of dopamine feels good in the moment, it's an empty one. The games are just trying to recapture what once was while making you pay full price again, even if you already paid for it. And that feels pretty gross.